Hello, our next guest is Mr. Larry Harmon, who is the candidate for Arlington Alderman Position 1. Mr. Harmon, thank you for joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's get started with our first question. If you could first briefly tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to run for public office.
Well, my name is Larry Harmon, and I appreciate the opportunity to come tell you a little about myself. I've been married to my wife Angela for 30 years. We have 3 grown children. And we moved to Arlington 11 years ago. We bought an old home in the historic district there right next to Depot Square, and immediately just fell in love with the town, with the small charm, the feel that it had, the neighbors, the people. It was wonderful. We got involved in the community, APTA, everything that really puts you in touch with the neighbors, the neighborhood, and the people. We did and really enjoyed it. It was just a couple of years later that I really saw the need for the citizens to have a voice in the town. Right next to our home and down through part of the old neighborhood, they were wanting to commercialize a lot of the old homes, and I couldn't really believe that destroying a historic neighborhood was really the answer. And we talked to the neighbors, and it was time to step up and protect the neighborhood, the citizens, and we stepped up and we actually helped preserve our neighborhood. And at that point, I was pretty much, okay, this, as we grow, then to be a strong voice, we really need to stay on top of things. And at that point is when I really decided I wanted to get involved and kind of help guide and protect and be a voice.
Okay. All right, so specifically, what qualifications do you have for this particular alderman office?
Well, I am running for re-election. I have served the past 4 years in position 1 as an alderman. A little about my background. Well, originally I read qualifications to hold elected office, and it was very vague. A certain age, you had to live in your community for a short period, 1 year, 2, 3 years time to qualify. To me, qualifications, what I feel is qualifications: integrity, honesty, willing to work and serve your neighbors. And I've been a firefighter for 40 years, nearly 40 years. And my whole life has been based on community service, public service, and I've served since 2012 here in Arlington on the Planning Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeal, the Parks and Rec Committee, the Health and Safety Committee. I've really gotten involved with many aspects of our community, and I have made decisions, being a battalion chief for the last 18 years. I make decisions that involve many aspects within a community. Some of them are very basic decisions that I make, but I've really been able to make critical decisions based on information. Some of the decisions that I make are very simple over a good many years, and some of them are actually life and death decisions at a critical incident. So gathering information and making good decisions has always been a quality that I have been able to develop, and I hope that the citizens themselves will want this type of qualification.
Okay. So what are in your opinion, the most important issues that are facing the mayor and board of aldermen in the next 5 years, and what plan do you have to address those?
Over the next 5 years, our town is growing. It's growing tremendously. And what protects our town, well, first off, with our school system. Our school system with elected officials, our job is to make sure that our school system has the funding and the support that they need to keep growing this wonderful system that we already have. So that's a big priority. The codes and ordinances that we have, growth and development, that is huge right now. We have so much wanting to come in, and there's nothing wrong with proper growth. A town to be healthy needs proper growth, whether it's commercial or residential development. You got to have that balance, and in creating this balance, this affects taxes and infrastructure, because as you have the residential commercial growth, your infrastructure has to balance the needs that the citizens have, that the businesses have, and to keep your taxes where they really need to be, it has to be on an even keel as far as one not getting or outpacing the other. So the ordinances, as we have grown, some of our ordinances need to be updated. I have actually tried over the last year or two to help enforce a lot of our code and ordinances. Updates, there are certain ones that need to be updated, whether it's our mixed use, the event venue ordinances. There's so much that needs, where the loopholes need to be reworked so that we don't have growth, residential or commercial, that's not really fitting what we need here in town, that's not good for the town. What I plan to do is work to help create stronger code and ordinances, and then as the growth comes in, make sure that we stick to what we plan to do.
Okay. So in your opinion, what relationship should an alderman and mayor have with each other?
The alderman-mayor position, what both have to understand, both positions have to understand, is that we are elected to work together for the benefit of the citizens. We collectively are the voice. We're the ones that the citizens depend upon to protect the home values, their family, the family situation as far as safety. It has to be one of mutual respect and an understanding that everybody brings different ideas to the board, and we have to trust each other and really work to do what's best. It is a check and balance situation to a big extent, because we don't elect one person to make all the decisions. The town has elected 6 aldermen and a mayor, so it's up to us to work collectively to accomplish what our citizens expect of us.
Okay. So, and finally, our last question, you have about a minute and a half left in our time. Is there something that Arlington does not have now that you would like to see happen?
Yes, we've come a long way. Several years ago, I was pushing to help get the Board of Mayor Arlington alderman meetings videotaped. Our citizens are concerned about what's going on in their community, but many have so many responsibilities, whether it's with their children, job. It's really tough for a lot of them to get involved to come to these meetings. So what I would like to do is hoping that we can have a live stream of all the meetings, whether it's the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, the Planning Commission. This will help any citizen that wants to stay on top of what's going on in my community. How can I get involved? Who's making good decisions? Who do I need to talk to about other things? This live streaming will enable the citizens who really want to get involved. It allows them to access to what's going on at their convenience, as well as the video. So I'm a firm believer that citizens need information, and this is my way of really trying to get this to them.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
Good luck in the election.
Well, thank you. I appreciate everything.
We want to remind everyone that early voting starts August 30th and Election Day is September 19th. So get out and vote. Now we'll watch our next candidate.